Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I'm a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. Today on Races of the Worlds, we're going to do the one thing that we've been asked by a number of people to do. Talk about our last meeting with the Grand Council of the Galactic Consortium, the Council of 12. Now, this only just happened last week, so it's going to take us more time to do this than just one video. Okay, but the long and the short of it was this. People down here keep talking about invasion from the stars. Not going to happen. Okay, according to them, according to the off-worlders, according to the council, let's put it there. According to the council, they've got no interest, and quite frankly, they are against conquering Earth. Okay, they do find it very fascinating that mankind is so caught up with their own conflicts amongst each other, which are completely out of line with what the consortium is looking for. I mean, they are aware that that mankind is very much a young race. Okay, it's a fledgling race. It is at the turning point of either you're going to get along and turn this into a unified world. And understand, unified world does not mean one dictator. It means everybody working to make the world a better place, working together. It requires people realizing, it requires the caretakers of the planet, which according to the consortium is humans, the dominant surface-dwelling, technologically advanced race on the planet. That's the humans. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it is on every other planet with their dominant populations. So the big message here is this. Number one, get along. Put the guns down, quit shooting at each other. You'll find it easier to actually make technological advances and attain the goals that you've laid out for yourself if you quit shooting at each other. Yes, dangerous things happen. You do need military involvement. You do need weapons to protect yourself. But frankly, according to the consortium, mankind's weapons are primitive in the extreme. Okay, again, get along. Look to the similarities. Okay, the similarities of man are the same as the similarities of every other race out there, pretty much. They all desire respect, and they all desire the right to live. Now, the reality with all 2,500 member races, and then some, okay, they all have a unified world. This does not mean they're perfect, and civil wars do happen. Okay, civil wars happen, governments do get overthrown, but the dominant feature is they get along. They've got clear boundaries of where their jurisdictions last or land. Okay, basically it boils down to this. I keep getting asked myself, how can somebody become a member of the Galactic Consortium? Well, that ain't my jurisdiction. Okay, I can tell you this. The less prejudice you show anybody, okay, the more likely you are to end up in that position. Now, personally, I don't see a difference between anybody on the planet. Okay, to me, it doesn't matter whether you're a pauper, a priest, a president. It doesn't make any difference at all what gender or color you are. I will treat you personally the way I will treat you in the way I desire to be treated. This doesn't always work, but the big message from upstairs, from the Galactic Consortium is this. Get along. Start working together, pool your resources, and treat everybody equally. And here's the reality behind it. as a race goes, you people have to understand you are only as strong as your weakest member. Meaning, the people that are starving to death, the people that are being ignored and marginalized, are the weak link. But the fact that the people that have the power and have the strength are doing virtually nothing from the upstairs perspective, you're letting your people starve, you're poisoning your planet, you're poisoning your water. I mean, heck, you're killing yourselves and wondering when you can become something of become part of something so much greater. And from their standpoint, it just boggles the mind. Okay, laws must be made that apply to everybody. Okay, regardless of your station. In other words, if you're a pauper and you steal from somebody, you get the same punishment, the same problem as if you are a multimillionaire and you rob somebody. Now, let's not go the route of worrying about whether politicians are honest or what the story. Politicians are people. Police are people. And all people are equal. The message that we ended up in a very long conversation of, okay, was absolutely remarkable. Okay, because as much as they all speak different languages, because of the translation tools they have, it's actually not that hard to follow. Okay, this is why Earth still uses translators, as in people that can speak different languages. The Galactic Consortium has a computer program designed specifically to handle meetings. Okay, are there some mistranslations? Certainly, and that causes its complications, but this is where the hybridization program comes in. Now, I was told very simply this: you have a beautiful planet here. Everybody in the religious sections, people are all talking about where is the Garden of Eden. Well, from upstairs, I'll tell you, this is a pretty brilliant planet. Okay, it is lush, it's green, it's blue, it is fantastic. Even the amber color, the amber or yellow color, whatever you want to call it, of the sand is absolutely phenomenal from out there. Especially when you look through their view screens. Okay, they've got amplifiers so you can get a lot better look. Okay, this is a beautiful planet, and together we can bring it back up to where it should be, or more to the point, to where it was. Okay, the big message that seems to come up time and again is quit shooting at each other while you're trying to build better things. Okay, it is so much easier to build a monument that looks nice, that gets people to stand there and look at it and go, wow, talk about a work of art. It's easier to build it if somebody isn't shooting at it with a tank. Okay, or anything else for that matter. Okay, the other thing that was being said very clearly is destroying markers of history is pointless. It does not change the fact that history was there, that things happened. These were works of art at the time. They were incredible accomplishments in many cases. Okay, they keep asking, is it jealousy that makes people destroy their own work or their own ancestors' work? And understand, the fact that you may not have been born in that country does not mean that the people that built that were not related to you in some long distance fashion. The past is the past. Okay, there are markers. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Okay, so they say it's time for people to stop fighting. It's time for people to realize that, yes, Bad things happen. Wars happen. There's no such thing as a war crime. The war is the crime. Okay. When we talk about slavery, they have slavery, but they have no bones about it. People sell slaves to slavers. Well, where's the problem? The person taking advantage of the person that has kidnapped the person to sell them, or the one that buys them and resells them? Ask yourself this. In a case, when a company builds something, okay, they build a product. They offer it out for sale. A middleman comes along, buys said product, and resells it to somebody else. Who is actually the root of that purchase? The middleman that bought the already existing product, or the person that made the product in the first place? Okay, from the Galactic Consortium standpoint, slavery is nothing but capitalism. That's it. They don't look down on it, they don't look up on it. It is simply capitalism. But they are very straightforward about it. If a person is being sold, whoever grabbed that person to sell them, that is the person. It is that philosophy that is causing complication at the root. Because if that person didn't do the kidnapping in the first place, the person buying the slaves to move them over and sell them somewhere else wouldn't have a product to sell. If nobody built a washing machine, nobody would be able to sell the thing. If nobody built a computer, nobody would be able to hack the computer. Okay, the Off-Worlders, the council, desires everyone to start taking responsibility for their own actions, regardless of their race, regardless of their nationality, regardless of their species. Get it straight. You're all members of the same planet. Quit poisoning the thing. Okay, quit soaking the ground in blood. Blood is not good for growth, and it's not good for the economy. The only thing that war has ever really functionally accomplished, yes, it's made people build bigger weapons. But I will tell you, get the biggest gun and see how useful that is in the middle of a tornado. You want power, take a look at what Mother Nature does. Okay, you build the best compound on the biggest face of rock, and see what happens when an earthquake tears the rock out from underneath you. People think that the people at the top are the ones in power. Okay, the council has no interest in coming onto this planet and taking it over. There's way too much work down here from their standpoint, and it would be easy to correct it. Very easy for them, but that is not their way. It's time for you as individuals, no matter what your station in life, it's time for you to get along. Okay, take the time to look in the mirror and go, okay, we desire to be part of something bigger. When are they going to show themselves? They'll show themselves, quite frankly, when they feel that you're ready. Individuals already know what's going on. Governments know the off-worlders are here. Okay, individuals know, corporations know. Much of the technology that is evolved here is inspired by nature first and foremost. The computer, as far as I understand it, was patterned after the human brain. They still haven't got it, and they still haven't got it working as fast. But I will tell you, it's just as glitchy as the human brain is. Now, the only difference between mankind and the races of the Galactic Consortium, the only difference is their toys. Okay, their technology level is, the Consortium's technology level is definitely higher. Okay, and the reason they don't give all the new little toys they've got, why not give weapons to one side? Because they don't want the war to continue. and they don't want a dictator. A dictator is not the way to make a world work. Now, yes, there is such a thing as a benevolent dictator. They do exist. They're rare, but they do exist. But the consortium was very clear. When will they make themselves absolutely known? Well, they'll do that when mankind starts to figure out that it does not need to shoot its neighbor to reach an agreement. It takes communication. Now, if 2,500 different species can get along, according to the consortium, according to the council, it's high time and tidy for the different races of one species on this planet get along. Okay, it's time to work together. Now, the reality of it is very simple. Okay, from their standpoint, we are going to be going through. Myself and the council are going to be going through a lot of talks over the next little while. But it was made very clear to me this message that it's time for people to work together must be dealt with on multiple fronts. Hence why it was at their request I really started pushing the diversification. It was you people, it was the viewers, and a lot of them came from my radio show. Okay, I'm on the first Friday of every month from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. on Spaced Out Radio. The supporters there really encouraged me a lot to get the information out there. Okay, but it was the council that said, okay, you're going to do that. Absolutely. We're all for it. Okay, but you've got to go further. So they suggested that we break it down, and now we are dealing with one series called The Journey, detailing how I went from where I am to where I was to where I am. We are dealing with Races of the Worlds, because the council itself desires people to realize that they are not alone. They are not in this on their own. But the council will not authorize stepping in and correcting minor problems. If you're going to do something that's going to directly damage the planet wholesale, they will step in. Okay. But if it's just border skirmishes and what have you, to them it's like two kindergartners arguing over the sandbox. Quit playing or quit fighting in the sandbox. It's that simple. It's time to grow up. Use your imagination. Grow up. Get along and realize if you think that the off-worlders are going to show up when they are walking around with 4, 6, 7, 8 legs, whatever, if you think they're going to show up here en masse, when your guy's first outlook is, let's shoot first and ask you if you're friendly after the fact, not a good idea, because many of the off-worlders are very simply more aggressive than mankind, but they don't have political correctness. You shoot at them to warn them, they shoot at you to kill you. It's pretty cut and dried. Don't do that. So, spread the word. It's time for people to get along. Okay, regardless of what walk of life you're from, regardless of where you come from, what color you are, doesn't matter. Okay, the consortium, the reason it works the way it does is real simple. Because those that have strength help and protect those that do not. You take a look at the Martokians. Martokians are a war-torn race. Matter of fact, they frankly almost destroyed the planet with it. The Venusians have no military functionality at all, but they do have phenomenal healers and phenomenal artisans. Okay, so the Martokians and the Venusians, the people on Mars and the ones on Venus, okay, worked out a collaboration. The Martokians provide military support for the Venusians when it is necessary, and the Venusians help stabilize the Martokian society by providing some of the more creative accoutrements. Okay, but the council is real cut and dried. They desire to see this planet evolve in a peaceful fashion. It's time for the border skirmishes to end. It's time for the religious leaders to realize if you're going to talk peace, peace is not done at the end of a gun or at the end of a blade. You can call it what you will, but it is not peace if you're shooting at people. Okay, if they don't believe in the exact same phrasing as you do, this is not grounds to kill each other. Okay, it is not grounds to burn a village to the ground because they don't put you on a pedestal. In the council, it's real simple. If you're not doing the job properly, you're asked to step down. If you refuse, it's pretty black and white. The populace tears you to pieces, and you're now unemployed and dead. Okay, thankfully, mankind doesn't do that. Mankind just seems to go, well, I got fired, therefore I'm a terrible person. And a lot of that is because the people say you're fired because you're a terrible person. I love the way it was put one day. There are no bad students. There are just bad teachers. Same as there are no, there are exceptions, okay? But on the whole, kids are not bad. Misguided, yes, but they're misguided by misguided adults. Okay, so what was suggested by the council was that I start dealing with the kids. Okay, deal with the young people, with the people that are in no functional position. But if you've got a building, okay, if you've got a building sitting on the ground, okay, the foundation of society is the common people. If they are not working together, society will fall regardless of how much the person at the top of the totem pole wants them to work. It won't matter. You take the foundation out, the society collapses. By the same right, if the foundation is strengthened and solidified, society stands solid. So the message is this: to the people that have in today's society, to the people that have money, that have power, that have a following, to those people, okay, it's up to you to spread the message that everybody is of value and treat them that way. If you're an employer, treat your staff properly. They will produce much better for you if you treat them decently. This doesn't mean they have to have the same amount of money. Offer them a job at a reasonable rate. Okay. If they do the job, pay them. If they don't pay them. They'll go away. Okay. But the important factor is the people that have the power help the people that don't. The people at the ground that are on the lower levels of society, and all society is built. People talk about pyramids. It's great, You've got a wide base that works its way down up to a tiny pinnacle. Now here's the thing. That wide base, that is the power base. They call it a power base because without it, everything falls. So you as individuals, the message for you is simple. Work together, get along, and start helping each other. Okay, whether we are talking, and we've got, like I said, we've got a number of videos going out now. The Offworlders, Races of the Worlds, The Journey, Your Self-Development, Believe in Your Business, Career Direction, Business or Career, and Spirituality, however you want to call it. All of these aspects are together, but it all boils down to one thing. your sense of self. The council was pretty clear. My job, people keep asking, why do I get called up to deal with them? Because I don't see a difference between them and you. You're simply built differently. That's it. You don't have as good a toys. I'll tell you, myself, frankly, modern technology annoys the heck out of me. And we're talking binary. We're talking this computer that I'm talking on right now. Biomagnetic holographic interfaces, I understand. I cannot, in all fairness, I can't explain entirely how they work in technical terms, but they make more sense to me. Okay. But the council was very clear. Okay. They will reveal themselves to the people that are actually helping other people in a way that is functional. Okay. In a way that is based on helping other people. Now, this does not mean that they will introduce themselves to everybody, and I have no way of telling you this is exactly how they do it. Because it's a one-to-one base. In other words, they look at each individual person at that moment. It's not a question of you have to be doing good things for your entire life. It may just be one thing that you end up doing that catches their attention. But the message was simple. It is time to get along. Work together. Clean up the planet. Okay, quit throwing your garbage into the middle of the street. In the middle of they said it does not make sense to them. They understand addictions. There's addictions off-world as well. But it makes absolutely no sense to them. If you're addicted to cigarettes, throwing a butt out the window that's got a cherry on it in the middle of a drought is just asking for a problem. Okay, it's time for people as individuals across the board. If you take a pyramid and you push down on it, everybody is a person, a member of the species. Okay, now yes, there are some people out here that are not members of the same species, but that's okay. You're all denizens of the same planet. That is what the council is looking for, is for people across the board to start treating each other as equals. And that is simply equal value. Each individual is of value. Each one of you are important to this planet. You all have a place. Okay, so the council was pretty cut and dried for me. Get the message out and start doing it en masse. So we're going at it from 4 different angles. Technically, we're going at it from 3. The fourth one is overall self-empowerment. But that's the top. That's the platform that everything builds. If you look at the others, your spirituality, the off-worlders, the ancient races, and business, whatever the education or business that you're involved in is. Those 3 venues are like the 3 legs on a stool, on a 3-legged stool. Each one equally important. Each one has a job to do. And if any one of them falls short, the issue of personal success, of societal evolution, will fall over. Personal success on a global scale is what makes society what society is. Okay, when people realize this, and this is what the overall message was, and we will come back to this again. Okay, I do hope I get a thumbs up out of you. Okay, we'd love to have you join our following here. So follow us on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook. We may get into others as we go along, but subscribe to the channel so you can get the rest of the information. At the bottom of the video, you'll find a whole list of ways of contacting me directly. Okay. And like I said, on the first Friday of every month, in this case, let me just see, I think it's the 2nd. I think that the day will be the 2nd. I'm just looking at the calendar here. Yep, the 2nd of April will be the next time I'm on Spaced Out. Okay, I was also told very clearly that given opportunity, get to the different conferences. Go and speak at the different conferences. Okay, so I'll tell you right now, I was asked if I was going to be in Vegas. It depends entirely on whether or not COVID opens up and whether or not I get an invite. If both of those things happen, then yes, my intention will be to be down there. But that being said, contact me at one of the contact points below the video here. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we will talk to you again next week. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.